What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? Colin here, and I am stoked, super excited to be sharing with you the first video in the mini series that I've created here. So, kind of a little bit of an idea as far as what this is and why it's good to watch these. So, over the last number of months, um, I have spent all of my time, effort, and energy into developing and building one of the most top notch automation systems for not only just business, but most importantly for credit repair itself. That's what this series is going to go over is applying the usefulness of automations, funnels, and marketing into your business to do a vast amount of things. Most importantly, though, is it does three. One is it makes your business more profitable. Two, it leads to financial freedom for you and your family. But then also, these things are the tools that I have personally used in my own credit repair businesses because I own two. If you see on the top of this video here, it says how I went from leaving my $300,000+ yearly income as in the finance career to creating two massively profitable credit repair businesses. And the main reason and the ability how I was able to do that is by leveraging and using systems and processes and tools to generate my leads, to nurture my leads, and to turn them into paying, happy, thrilled clients of my own. That not only will stay with me for the credit repair, but then will refer people to me and will be customers for life. So that is the framework of what this series is going a little bit deeper into the back works, a little bit more information than I've ever shared before as far as how this all works and why it's a good thing to have, but also teaching you and helping you understand the usefulness and the advantage that you'll have by leveraging and using sales funnels for your business to generate leads and to close sales. So, without further ado, I'm going to give you a little bit more information and a little bit more background into myself and how we were able to get to this point and why I'm sharing this video with you. So, like I said a moment ago, the title of this video right here is Our Client Getting and Nurturing System. So, prior to me starting my businesses, as it reads in there, I was a finance director for a very large auto dealer here in where I live. I was in charge of a number of different finance managers. I was in charge of them. I would work deals. I would submit things to the bank. So my background prior to getting into credit repair itself, I dealt with people's credit. And then previous to being a finance director, I sold cars. So that's actually how I got into credit repairs. I would help my clients that wanted to purchase a car but couldn't get approved. I would help them get qualified to purchase a vehicle so that they can come back to me and I'd be able to sell them a car. So at that moment in time, I started learning about credit repair. I fixed my own. I grew up from nothing, grew up in the dirty dirt of Arizona. So I made some bad financial decisions, when I was younger that was hurting me at the time then. So that's how I got into credit repair. And that's how I started learning about it. Is I fixed my own, of course, and then I started fixing clients. And once I went into finance, though, all of my business aspirations, everything came to a screeching halt. If you ever know anyone that's in the automotive industry, you'll know that they work a lot. And as a finance director, you work even more. So the money was fantastic. I was on track right before I left to do mid 300-ish thousand dollars for one yearly income. And that was commission. I wasn't even a salary or anything like that. I worked for it. I was newly married. My wife was pregnant at the time. We hadn't had her daughter yet. And I knew that even though the job, the money, all that was awesome, one of my old managers always gave me a parable. I don't even know if it would be considered a parable, but ultimately is you trade time for money and it's always a shit trade. And that's true. So that has always resonated with me going forward to now as a business owner. As how can I make as much profit as possible for my business, but still have time not only for my family, which has increased way, way more than it ever has before, but how can I increase time for them, but also increase the amount of time that I have for other things that I want to do? Hence my marketing agency. I play a lot of success to my marketing agencies because I've set up my credit repair businesses in a fashion where they work very much so on autopilot. So now I'm going to give you a little bit of input into one of my clients that has been massively successful with using my system. So, what is automation? What is automations? What is sales funnels? Automations, as just as the title reads, it's getting and nurturing. So you have to get the leads, and then you have to nurture the leads. It's like planting a tree or planting, a flower or a fruit or a vegetable or whatever it is. Once you plant it in the ground, you still have to do work, right? Once you have the seed, you got to plant it and then you got to nurture it. That's where the term comes from. It comes from, I'm assuming I haven't looked up the root term of nurturing for at least for this kind of stuff, but I look at it as you're trying to grow a plant because you have to plant the seed, then you have to water it, then you have to give it nutrients, you have to give it sunlight, you have to take care of it. As it grows, you have to trim it. If it's a fruit bearing or a food bearing plant, ultimately you have to take care of it. And people are the same way. You can't just put out a marketing, say a Facebook ad, get a bunch of leads, and call them one or two times and expect them to sign up. I mean, it just doesn't work that way. People have to be reminded over and over and over and over and over about your services. That's what the automations does, is it puts people into situations, it puts your leads into situations where they will be constantly followed up with, constantly nurtured, put water on them, give them nutrients, give them sunlight, give them everything that they need, and give them all of the reason in the world, and give them all the value in the world where they'll understand that you, as a business owner in credit repair, you have the solution to their problems. Their problem is they have troubled credit. Okay. And then because of their troubled credit, maybe they can't go out and purchase a home. Maybe they can't go get a car to replace the one that they have. Or what if? That's their problem. You have the solution. Now, maybe one of your problems is, this is just as an example, maybe one of the things that you're having a hard time with is maybe getting the leads. And then once you get the leads, it's like, what do you do with them, right? That's where my system comes into place. Not only as far as getting the lead, but also taking care of them. So now I'm going to jump in and give you some examples, give you some information as far as one of my clients, that's been very successful with using this. So I'm going to click through here, see if I can move my big head. There you go. My head's even bigger today. My bubble's bigger. So first off, what I want to show you is this. So this right here, this is your campaigns that I build for you, that I set them up. And also, everything I use, guys, I've tested it before. I've tested it on my own business. And then I took in my framework that I already had and developed, and I built upon it. Because I have copywriters, I have people that help me optimize and change and tweak and make it better than it was a month ago. Okay? That's what comes in with this. It comes with close to a year's worth of follow-up just for your leads. Okay. Then it has follow-up for your clients. Then it has follow-up if you want for affiliates. I mean, there's so many different things in here that you can work with that just simply provides value to your people, but most importantly, gives them every opportunity in the world to sign up with you. That's where the nurturing comes into play. Now, the getting part, which I'm going to go a little bit more into detail into the next video, but in my system here, it also has the ability for funnels, has the ability for websites. Also, in one of the videos I'm going to be talking quite a bit about is the fact of memberships. You might be asking, what's the membership? So have you ever heard of Teachable or you bought in a course or something that has a whole bunch of videos that you can walk kind of like this, but more, I don't know, more in depth, I suppose, more interactive, whatever you want to call it. So memberships is in the system. You can build those out for you, as you can have courses. You can have a DIY course, or you can get something that we provide to you as a DIY course, but it's just another stream of income. It's another way to generate leads, but ultimately it can all be done in the system, or that's something that we can provide for you. Okay. So, but I regress. I'm going to go into more detail on that here shortly in one of the other modules. So there's 5 videos here. I'm going to cover a lot. So in this one, though, I'm going really deep into the aspect of what you see in front of you, which is this. These are campaigns. Now, for my client here, I built the majority of these campaigns for him. However, whenever you get our automation system, you are actually added as an admin, meaning you can do stuff. So if I move my head again, we can actually go in and create campaigns, or you can go in and create campaigns just like my client did here, right? He has an Easter thing going on. So he wanted to go in. He's like, well, I showed him what to do, which I do with all my clients. If you're trying to figure something out and you want to figure out how to do it and you can't, let me know and we'll walk you through how to. So he actually went through and he started creating his own campaigns for his clients that he already had. We were speaking the other day and he even made the comment, because he's been in credit repair for a number of years, I believe since 2012. And he always he does a fantastic job at getting leads. But what he told me the other day is, for years he had this amazing method of getting leads, but once he got the leads, he didn't have a centralized way how to do follow-up. Okay, that's where this comes into place. Follow-up, follow-up, follow-up. That's something that was ingrained, into my very being when I sold cars. Is every time I walk into the dealer in a new day, unfortunately, to my situation there, I had a lot of leeway with my time, but that was still a very large expectation of me, was the follow-up. Call your people you spoke with last week and yesterday. Call all your sold customers that purchased a car from you. Call this person, call that, call, da 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 da. And I'll be honest with you, I hated it. I don't like constantly having to call people over and over and over, and taking, at least in that scenario, taking myself off the sales floor and the potential of selling another car to make income for me and my family. So that's why I built this for my business, is because I understand and I see the value that follow-up has to be done, especially when you're paying money to do paid advertising and you're getting leads. You have to have a method to follow up with these folks. Otherwise, if you call them a few times and a couple weeks goes by, by month 3, if you've been lackluster on your follow-up, that lead is freezing cold, and it's kind of, your money isn't being used in its best potential. That's where this comes into. That's where we have methods to do all of your follow-up for people that put in for questionnaires and for consultations. We have follow-up for their letters for your clients. We have follow-up where, for your clients themselves, we'll keep asking for referrals and we'll keep asking how they're doing and checking up with them, because that's one of the things that I found, at least in the beginning of my business, where I was lacking on for my paying customers. And I wasn't following up with them. I was spending way more time on my leads and my paying people. And what would happen, right? I would get heat calls saying, hey man, you're doing work, but I never hear from you. So I was having upset customers, and I was having people fall out of my program inadvertently, but simply not paying their bills. And I attributed a lot of those issues I had was to crappy follow-up from my clients. That's why I spent time and effort, not only building the system out for leads, but also for people you're already working with, because they're the ones paying you money. Now, you're doing a service for them, sure, but they still deserve as much, if not more, follow-up than your leads do, because those are the ones that are going to send good reviews. Those are the ones that are going to refer their parents, their kids, their auntie, their uncle, their neighbors, anyone they know that needs credit services as well. Your clients will be the ones sending you those referrals outside of affiliates. So that's why there's also systems and campaigns built into here to take care of those folks as well. So in the next video, I'm going to be talking about our proven automated net or framework. So that's where I'm going to be going quite a bit more into the potential of the funnels and a couple other systems that comes along with the automations program. This is Colin. Down below this video, you're going to see, I believe it's like a dark blue box. It's glowing. Go ahead and click that, push you over to the next video. See you in a second.